When you lose a pet, I remember coming home and reaching for the door, already expecting what would happen next. The sound, the movement, the greeting. My golden retriever cat used to meet me with a full body wag, what I always thought of as a butt wag. It wasn't subtle, but it was joyful every single time. And then one day I came home, and there was nothing. No movement, no sound, no greeting at the door. That's one of the first moments you feel it, in the absence of something that used to happen without thinking. What it's like after they're gone. Losing a pet doesn't just change one moment, it changes the rhythm of your life. When my dog Grace died, it wasn't just that she wasn't there. It was the feeding routine that stopped, the common activity of something that had been a part of every day, suddenly gone. These are the moments that catch you off guard. Sitting on the couch and realizing no one is coming to rest their head in your lap. Walking into a room and expecting to see them there. Reaching for something that no longer exists in the same way. If you've read Why Losing a Pet Hurts So Much, you already understand why this feels as deep as it does. This is the part that comes after. What to do when you lose a pet in the moments it hits. There isn't one right way to move through this, but there are ways to be with it that don't make it harder. For me, one of the most helpful shifts was allowing myself to feel what I felt. Not trying to rush it, not trying to be over it, not trying to make it smaller so it would be easier to carry, just letting it be what it was. Because underneath the grief was something very clear: love. And when you love a being of any kind, it hurts when they are no longer with you. If this is where you are right now, feeling it in waves, sometimes expected, sometimes not, you don't have to hold all that alone. There's a place to say it out loud just as it is. When it comes in waves, grief after losing a pet doesn't move in a straight line. It comes in moments, sometimes quiet, sometimes sharp, sometimes unexpected. Seeing another golden retriever set me off for a long time, not because I didn't know what I was feeling, but because it connected me back to something I loved that was no longer there. That's how this kind of grief works. It's tied to memory, to recognition, to moments that remind you of what was. And those reminders don't mean something is wrong. They mean something mattered. What helps without fixing it? Talking about them helped. Remembering the silly things they did. Saying their name out loud. Letting those memories exist instead of pushing them away. Not everything helps. It Was Just a Dog is one of those that doesn't. Because she wasn't just a dog. It was a relationship, a presence, part of my life. And what helped more than anything was not trying to make the grief go away, just allowing it to move through in its own time. Living with it now. Even now I can feel it in a different way. My dog Amelia is getting older. She sleeps next to me, and her warmth is something I don't take for granted. There's an awareness now that wasn't there before. Not fear exactly, but a kind of knowing this won't last forever. And that changes how you experience it while it's here. What you do now. When someone asks, what do I do now after losing a pet, the answer isn't complicated, but it isn't always easy either. You value what was. You cherish it. You let yourself remember the joy as it was when they were here. You don't rush yourself out of missing them. You don't try to organize your grief into something neat. You let it be what it is, even if it's messy. For me, I also hold on to something else. A belief that when we die, they're there, here, waiting. And in the meantime, we have something that stays with us. Memory, not as a replacement, but as a way to stay connected to what mattered. A place to talk it through. If you find yourself carrying this, unsure where to put it, you don't have to hold it alone. At Hold, we offer a calm, confidential space where you can talk through what you're feeling without interruption, judgment, or the need to explain why it matters. If you're not ready for that, you're welcome to explore other blogs, and take your time. There's no need to rush your way through this. If you do want a place to say it out loud, you can start here. Book a listening appointment.